Hey guys, Dr. Matthew Hu here, and welcome back to another episode of HP for Gamers. Today we have Riversan, the professional Fortnite player for Team Liquid, and we're going to be talking about all things as it relates to his performance. How does he optimize himself inside and outside of the game? And I've had the pleasure of working with him for the past year now, and he is definitely one of the most thoughtful and well-rounded players when it comes to the Fortnite community and has a really holistic mindset in approaching his performance. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Why don't we just get started? Why don't you tell me, your origin story? You know, Tell me about how you got started and how you got to the top. How you got ninth
The
place in
rise
the
to the
World Cup.
rise to the
Yeah,
top.
yeah, the origin story of River, right?
Well, dude, I've been gaming for a long time. I've been gaming since I was like eight, I think 8 or 9. I'm probably earlier, like 6 or 7.
Got it.
Starting off with Mario Party, all that. But man, I've been competing in esports since I was like, I think like 12, bro. Saw this photo I sent you. But dude, I had my grandma drive me 2 to 3 hours for tournaments, and the prize pool for first place is like $100.
For what?
But
What game?
Super Smash Bros.
Wait, for
4.
real?
Yeah,
Melee?
yeah.
You played like Melee or what?
No, no, no. I didn't play Melee. It was just Smash 4. But
Oh, damn.
yeah, dude. I would have my grandma drive me 2 hours to these tournaments, bro. And that's when I really realized that like esports was like really the thing for me. Is it wasn't really so much about the money. The money was cool. It was kind of an incentive, but
Mm-hmm.
the process, playing the tournament, fun. It was so fun, bro.
Yeah,
I would
wait,
definitely.
so that's why you have a picture with D1, right? Like
Right.
that makes
Yeah. Oh,
sense.
you
That
know
makes sense.
D1. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I worked a
Yeah.
lot. I work a lot in the Smash community. I know a lot of them, like,
Oh,
cause I
right. Okay.
yeah, cause I used to work when Smash 4 was big, and I work with the Melee community. I work
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of the pros, so
Nice.
that's
Nice.
really funny, man. I did not
Yeah.
know that you started in Smash. So how did
Yeah.
you transition over to something else? And how long? I guess how long
uh,
did you play Smash for?
oh man, I played Smash for I think almost like 3 or 4 years. Dude, I played Smash. Yeah, 3 or 4 years, and then I kind of transitioned into this other game called Splatoon. You know the Ink
Yeah,
game on
yeah, yeah, of
Nintendo
course.
Switch. Yeah,
Yeah.
started playing that competitively for a bit, super into it, and then Fortnite came along like I think a year and a half into that, and
Yeah.
I kind of just started grinding out that game.
Nice. So when
Yeah.
was that? When did Fortnite come out? It was like
I want to say like 17, 18, like late
ah,
17
got
maybe,
it, got it.
in December.
And then like
Yeah,
tell me about that story, right? Like from that
yeah.
moment to maybe like you were on stage at the World Cup.
Yeah, so it all started like my brother was super into it. I got into Fortnite late. I've never really been into shooters or anything like that. I'm more of like a Nintendo guy. My brother grinding out Fortnite for the I think it was at like 4 or 5 months at this point, and I was just like, "Yo, can I play?" And he got off his PS4, so I hopped on, played on his controller, built a little bit, and dude, I kid you not, like I went to my uncle's house that same day. He had a PS4. Literally, I think I'm not even exaggerating. I think I played like 12 or 13 hours straight. Like I didn't sleep that whole night, just playing, bro. Like
On
playing.
controller?
On controller, I don't play controller for any game, so but it was just a blast, bro. So ever since then, like I got a laptop. I used my mom's laptop to play. What's it called?
Just play on PC, huh?
Just
Yeah.
yeah, just play on PC. Yeah, and I got a mouse, and then just kind of built from there, dude.
Wait, so when you got to maybe like Pracord level and started to do scrims, were you on a
Yeah,
laptop?
yeah. So I think about it was about a month before qualifiers. I think qualifiers are like April ish last of 2019. I was on a laptop, so all the practice course scrims, all the scrimming, everything was on a laptop, and it was like I can't lie, it was like nice gaming laptop.
Oh, for sure.
I saved up for it. I got a little part time job at
Got it.
as a busboy. But yeah,
What
it
did you
was
now? For what
it
restaurant?
was I think it was just this like family Mexican restaurant that I just like collected dishes and stuff like that. Brought out waters. So It was just like some hometown stuff.
Yeah, because I'm also in LA, and that was one of my first jobs. I worked at
Yeah,
Islands. You know where Islands is?
island. Yeah, it's like Hawaiian food, I think.
Yes, Hawaiian, and I
Mm,
was the host. So I would open the door and
fire.
I would go, "Welcome to Islands.
Welcome, welcome.
You're welcome." And that's all. I was
Welcome.
like, "Let me
Take,
get you to your
take a
seat."
seat.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly, exactly.
Pretty hard job.
Yo, it was pretty hard, and
No,
I
yeah.
mean, it was fun though because at the time it was
Yeah.
just me and my best friend. We were
Uh,
just we would just work there during the summer, like during
nice.
college, and it
Yeah.
was great. There was a
Right.
lot of great stories
Uh-huh.
from that. But
Yeah, and that's what I try to point out to a lot of pros and like kind of like the younger kids around my age when I started out. I was like, they're instead of DMing pros like, hey, can you buy me a PC? It's like, dude, just mow the lawn. Ask your parents what I can do, or just like look to get your workers permit. Just do something, bro. Like it really helped me out a lot early on getting that workers experience because like they were on you. Like
yeah,
I was just a high school kid, playing video games all day. But once you get into that like work area of like responsibility, you learn a lot. So that helped me out a lot, competing too.
yeah.
So
Actually, I,
yeah,
I respect that
that's
a
just
lot.
a
I think
side
that
note.
that
Yeah.
probably contributes a lot to like just I don't know how you are a little more disciplined, how you feel pretty
Mhm.
structured with how you approach things,
Right.
at least a little bit. So you played Court scrims and you know all on this laptop, and walk me through the calling process and the stories for that.
Oh man. So I called first week. I got second place, and I don't think I streamed the second call. I called the second time I called was week 7, I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, it was insane. I had so much confidence that it wasn't really I was just excited to go into it. I did a lot of research on competitive stuff like that, and I try to approach it from a way of like, instead of being scared, just treat that as, what am I trying to say? Treat it as like excitement. Don't look at
Hmm.
it as oh, I'm competing for fucking millions of dollars, like first
Yeah,
place,
yeah.
$1 million. It's like, dude, just take one step at a time. You to be excited about the process, and that's really the approach I took for it. Is that I really enjoyed the process, and yeah, I was just really in the moment. I didn't really think about the future. I just kind of qualified, and it kind of just went off from there, dude.
At that time, what were your parents thinking about all of this?
Oh man, I gotta send you this video. My parents were so I had a very bumpy road with my parents about gaming, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of turning off internet, and it was understandable because,
I
dude,
mean, same.
I'm,
They took
yeah,
my
I'm not gonna lie,
controller,
like,
they took my keyboard,
yeah,
they hid
of
it,
course, got
I
it.
found it. I
Yep.
was like, you gonna hide it there? Stupid.
Yep. But now it's taking the internet box, and then
Yep,
we're really screwed.
exactly, exactly. That's what
But
happened.
yeah, no, they after going for the World Cup, or after Winter Royale, which is like the first
Yep.
tournament I made money in, they were like, okay, they kind of loosened up a little bit. And the main reason for them doing this was because I was slacking a lot on like homework and stuff. And,
Yeah.
just they're just being parents and stuff, so
Mhm.
it was
Mhm.
super understandable. But
Yeah.
yeah, after qualifying for World Cup, they're super supportive. I have my mom's reaction to me telling her on my YouTube, so it was
Oh,
so
that's
cool, man.
that's
It,
sweet. That's sweet.
it
Yeah.
was really a blessing to have them on the same page with me. So it was cool.
Yeah, and just as a side story, for everyone, I actually at the time was playing a lot of Fortnite, and I got like top 500 in the week one for
Mm.
solos. And in order to prep, I watched Rivers VODs, and I would take notes about all of his shit,
You
and
sent me
um,
that, bro.
and it was great, And now I'm here, talking to River, just like, and it's just crazy. I was so into the game myself, and it's just great to see that, you've actually come a long way from then too, and you got what, ninth at the World Cup,
Mhm.
and how did it feel being on stage? Like, what was that like? What were it was 6 games, right? Or-
Yeah, dude, it was. Dude, I didn't know what I was thinking of going into it. I just remember the stage rumbling a lot. There's two layers to it. There was the
Hmm.
first floor and the second floor. I was on the second floor. Uh, I was just really in the zone, bro. I was really in the zone. I did a lot of like I said before, studying about other esports and just NFL stars, MLB players, how they prepare for games, and
Hmm.
you know I'm sure people watching this are aware of like the flow state, dude. I felt like I was really in the flow state, like super focused. I saw the crowd. For some reason, I wasn't like intimidated at all. Like I talked to a lot of other pros, and they're just like freaked out by the crowd. But
I'm
yeah, dude,
sure.
it was a cool experience. The you could hear. It was funny though. The headsets, you could hear the what's it called? You could
Yeah.
hear the commentators in the back like talking. And I remember in my 1v1 with Dubs, that it's just like Riversan versus Dubs 1v1, and I'm just like,
Oh my
oh
god.
shit. And at that point, I kind of like froze up. I was like, oh shit. I saw the cameras starting to huddle around me. I was like,
Hmm.
oh fuck. It's like
That's
I'm
crazy.
actually,
Yeah.
it's actually happening. Yeah, but
Well, so what
yeah,
happened with
it
that?
was.
That was like the end game, right? That was a.
Oh yeah, so I was on height. I think I had 150 mats. Dubs was on low ground. I think I had like 500 metal. I had an RPG on height. Little misplayed a little bit. Misplayed a little
Okay.
bit. Something haunts me to this day. But nah, yeah, I was just playing. But what's it called? Uh, yeah, he had a lot of mats. He played it well, and I jumped off height, took a little too much storm damage, and then what's it called? Shit on me.
Do you,
Simple as
how
that.
much of that was like the external factors, do you think? Like all of the
Uh,
cameras moving
so,
in, or was it not
so
so
like,
much?
yeah. There definitely was a factor. I mean, like I mentioned before, I was really focused. I was in the flow state. I was very in the game, and then the cameras coming around me, hearing the commentators, it kind of like brought me out of the game and just like,
Oh, okay.
wait, I'm on stage. I'm on in front of cameras. It kind of put me like in a weird spot mentally. I was just like, oh fuck, and then
Definitely.
I'm like, oh shit, I need to focus, and then I was back in the game, and then
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
played out. So yeah, it definitely was an external factor. That was
Player lands in front of him, and he tags him up for a lot of shields there. And Riversan has to reset, needs to be careful not to get hit by that storm. Someone's going to be above him.
He's
and
too good.
An elimination onto Skype. We're now sitting at a 1v1. Two players left standing here. Who's it going to be down low? It's Dubs. It's Dubs down low. And Riversan has Dubs on his site. Who's going to get the win here? Riversan navigating, tarping. He has 7 builds remaining. Dubs trying to play defense, giving himself any kind of cover that he can possibly maintain. But Riversan, a few more explodes remaining. That could punish Dubs.
He's really trying to keep him down to the zone here, Golden Boy.
Oh man, this is it. He sends another one out, and they're just telling him, you gotta run. He goes into it. He's still holding position. Dubs has the high ground, but he lands in front of him, and Dubs gets a victory royale on the world stage.
you know.
So you said you did some research, about other traditional sports, other stories of how pros prepared. What were some of the more notable things that you remember from that time?
Hmm. I have to think. I mean, I'd read this one book. It was actually looking at tennis players. It was
Inner game?
looking at tennis inner game. That's what it
Yeah,
was. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, inner game. And I forget exactly what it talked about, but it talked a lot about transferring. It just like a lot of life is about transferring your perspective on things, and you know, instead of it coming from a perspective of like playing in front of millions of people, playing for millions of dollars, it's like, you know see that as excitement. Be excited, get excited for it, instead of like, oh, I'm so nervous, I'm gonna be on stage, people are gonna be watching me. It's like, dude, get excited about it. So that's what I learned, or something I got from it, is like, you want to transfer that fear to like excitement, and then it gets you pumped, gets you ready, gets you prepared. So that's like one of the things I learned from that. But
I think that's
yeah,
a
I
really
can't
powerful thing to learn, right? A lot of people don't
really.
understand how they perceive things,
Hmm.
really impact their following thoughts. And I think it's a really common thing in psychology. I think they call it challenge versus threat. I mean, or you can
Hmm.
also label it as fear versus excitement, but how you
Hmm.
respond to your sensations of nervousness, sweaty
Yeah.
hands, shivering, your
Hmm.
all those sympathetic responses, that if you treat that as excitement, you'll have a much better result than if you treat it as, oh my god, I'm nervous. Holy shit, what am I
All
gonna
right.
do? Right. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad you learned that so early on, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure it's helped you a lot. As you continue to
100%.
grow on this path of being pro. So I
Mm-hmm.
guess moving on from there, I guess when I say the word performance, what are the first 5 words that you think of that come to mind?
Well, if you asked me this like a year and a half ago, I would have just been saying like height, scrims, Kovacs, all that. But now my perspective has changed a little, a lot. My perspective changed a lot in performance. I'd say right now it'd be more of like fitness, um, scrim time, mental toughness, mental fortitude, and yeah, we'll just leave it at those 4. That's all I could think of. But
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
those are some of the things that come to mind.
Yeah. I mean, and those are all, I think, very important to have. On the flip side, if I say health, I think something that a lot of people in the community undervalue is the importance of health as they, continue on this journey of being a pro. What are the first 5 things you think of when you hear the word health?
So from my personal experience, I mean, recently I've started working out a lot. And we'll get into that, but health for me is eating right, um, mm, working out every day. Mm-mm-mm. Mental health, really important. Those 3. So physical, mental, and yeah, just overall, just taking care of yourself. That's kind of what comes to mind, is just physical health, and then obviously mental health. Mental health, you need probably one of the most important things, because that helps so much in gaming. It's like staying on top of your mental health.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So let's rewind a little bit and talk about what you had said with performance. I mean, you said if I asked you a year ago, it'd be scrims, height. Um, you know, what changed there? And my camera just cut off. So
I really like you mentioned before, really just perspective on things, dude. At that time, Fortnite literally was absolutely everything to me. Like I woke up, I kid you not, I woke up, I would play from 12 to 12, go to sleep, dream about Fortnite, and then wake up, same thing for at least like a year, maybe year and a half straight. So
wow.
so like mentioning that I have a lot of different perspectives on things now that I'm maturing a little bit. I see the benefits of having a well balanced lifestyle. That lifestyle that I had isn't that's not sustainable. It's not sustainable.
Hmm.
So having a really well work/health balance is so important, and that's one of the big things I want to push to other pros that I talk to every day. Just like, yo, really helps you out. So
Yeah.
yeah, just a lot of growing up things, maturing things that I learned in the
So you
process.
said you would dream in Fortnite. What kind of dreams? Like,
Oh, dude, bull battling, fighting pros, everything, man,
how
everything.
much of those dreams do you think helped you? Did you learn anything in your dreams?
Dude, I might have learned something. I know we've had some trippy dreams before. I can't think of any, but I've had some trippy dreams, bro. I've had some trippy dreams. Killing
Okay.
Myth, Daquan, dude.
Okay, okay.
Oh yeah,
Wow, those names, I haven't heard them in a long time. But yeah,
yeah.
I mean, so you
OG.
lived, ate, and breathed Fortnite for
Mhm.
the better part of a year and a half.
Yeah.
And now you sort of switched to this more balanced lifestyle.
Mhm.
Um, can you help us understand like what things you're doing now that you are making sure that you're doing to create this balance for yourself?
Yeah, so now I'm on like a routine of where I work out in the morning. So I'll do a 2 mile like run in the morning, and then at night I'll do just like an at-home workout. And when I say this, I don't want anybody to be intimidated, because you knew the process that I started. I started off with 5-minute runs every day. Like I would do 10-minute intervals, and that's the main thing I want to point out is like don't get intimidated by that working out twice a day or doing 2 mile runs. Like it's a buildup. Like you have to start off slow. So yeah, some of the things I do is like working out every day, eating healthier. I watch like everything I eat, and it's genuinely helped my mental, physical, just everything, dude. So
What have you noticed the most with, both eating healthy and exercising more that
mhm.
has helped you maybe like in game or maybe just with your day-to-day performance?
Yeah, I mean, one of the main things would be mental toughness. So a lot of working out for people is more of a mental thing than it is physical. Going that extra mile. Your body can handle it. It's just getting to that mental part. So I think one of the main things has helped out my mental toughness. I tilt still. It is what it
Everyone
is.
does.
But
Yeah, everyone does.
yeah, everyone does. But it genuinely has helped me be a more disciplined player
Got it. Got it.
overall.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I mean, I also like what you said about understanding that it doesn't have to be this 0 to 100% jump in. As long as you start with just a little bit of movement. The end goal is that you're adopting this healthy habit. So if it just means starting with something 5 minutes, and then a month later you're doing what River's doing, right? You're maybe running 10 minutes, and then 3 months later you're exercising 3 to 4 times a week, and that's the end goal. You don't need to just
Yeah,
jump in and go 100 and exercise 6 times a week, 2 times a day. You know, that's not necessary. And a lot of the times people I think do that, and it leads them to stop in after like 2 to 3 weeks because they feel like it's too much. And then
100%.
it's not really this balanced approach. And I love that you're doing that, and I love that you said that. Outside of exercise and eating, is there anything else? Right, I know from our own conversations you've been reading. You know,
Yeah.
you're this rich guy that has a sleep psychologist, right? According to one of your streams. So
Yeah.
tell me about those things.
Yeah, well, I mean, thanks to you, I've had a lot of help, and just a lot of aspects of my life. So, I work with the guy, Daniel, and he's a sleep specialist, and he's really helped me out a lot with my sleep. I didn't tell you this, but like back in the day, I would wake up like, I think I would say 12. I wake up at like 1 or 2 every day. I would get like 12 hours sleep, and man, that would just throw me off. Like there's a thing of having too little sleep and too not enough sleep, so or too much sleep. So
Right.
yeah, he's helped me balance that out a little bit. And in terms of like other stuff, like I read every night. So what I'll do is I have like kind of like a routine that I'll do. I'll get off an hour before I go to sleep, which is 2 a.m. And then I'll just either play guitar or just do some kind of hobby that I enjoy, and then I'll read for 30 minutes. So every night. So I'm really into psychology and stuff like that. So I'll read just anything that kind of interests me at the time.
What's the most interesting thing that you've read in the past year?
Uh, Probably this book that I'm reading right now, Psycho. I forget the name. Do you remember?
You can show
Psycho.
it.
Yeah, let me grab it real quick.
It's like, wait, why can't I think of it? I've read this book. Wait, he
It's
has it.
called Psycho Cybernetics. Yeah.
That's right.
I'm like,
And
yes,
let's very briefly touch on it because I think there's a lot of really great lessons in this book. But just like,
100%.
let's just grab one tiny little lesson that you've taken from, all your reading at night.
For sure. One big lesson I've learned from this book is uh, your self image is very important, and something that kind of sucks that I see with a lot of other pros, and they kind of shit talk themselves, right? It's like if you die, like that's something I really struggled with is like, oh, how did you miss that? Just stuff like that. So this book really talks about improving your self image, and that's one of the main things in it. Is like that's a big thing that I learned from it is like improving your self image. You can't talk to yourself like that. It's just negative. So you know
Yeah, I
that's
think
something that helped me
I think
out a lot.
when we talked a little bit before too, the main thing was that it helped you understand a lot about subconscious programming and self-talk,
Yeah,
right?
that
And
too.
and basically the idea is, for any of you guys that might not know what that is we, as we progress throughout the day, if we're not mindful or conscious of how we're thinking, we have this automatic programming and how we respond to all of these things throughout the day. And we have the ability to control our own thoughts, what we think, and what we think about different things. And that can change some of the subconscious thoughts that we go through every single day, that can change how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about our self-image. And I think we really underestimate the power of our subconscious, the power of our own brains. And I love that. How old are you right now?
18.
18, and you're learning about this. When I learned about it, I was just 24, 23, and all I cared about was picking up girls,
Yeah.
learning this stuff. So, in the context of improving your performance, I love that you've already been exposed to this idea, and I think this is an idea that a lot of young professionals need to learn about, so that they can really
Yeah.
feel better about themselves. Not only that, in a community that I think is maybe not the best in terms of supporting each other and creating the right behaviors or habits, but also just in general for life, right? Because Fortnite is not the end all be all. You need these life skills that will help you transition out of that professional career. Even though
Right.
I'm gonna make sure that you play until you're 100, so
Yeah.
we're good on that.
No,
um,
I like that you mentioned that though, is like it doesn't just help me in Fortnite. It really helps me, dealing with other people, how you see yourself, there's just so many things. It's not just Fortnite. It's just preparing you for life.
yep. Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
have any unique routines or rituals that you feel like help with your performance?
Dude, I don't do much rituals nowadays, but back in the day during World Cup, I would always adjust my keyboard. I would Here, I'll show you guys. So every time I would play it, it's just like a ritual. I would just like adjust it back and forth like this, and like I would make sure it's like in place, like there's an invisible box that it's supposed to be in. And I would just like move it. So that's just like a small ritual that I used to do every time I would play.
Got it,
Just like
got it.
adjust it and
Yeah.
put me in that mindset.
There's a lot of research on pre-performance routines, and doing that is one of the things
Mm,
a lot of people do, right? To make sure that they almost feel like they're in control of everything as they're getting into a game. Even though, expectedly you can't really control everything, but it gives you this confidence because you have this pre-performance routine. So it's great to hear that. Are you, I guess, doing anything else, I guess, right now to improve yourself outside of all of these things? I think we touched on a lot, right? We have
you
your
touched on a lot,
reading,
bro.
your eating, your
Yeah.
sleep, your
Mm.
exercise. Is there anything else you want to say that you feel like could be helpful for any other Fortnite players watching?
Um, I can't think of anything new, but I really want to stress the point that we've been talking about of working out and focusing on your mental health. Those are two main things that help in every aspect of life, not just Fortnite. I really stress this with a lot of my friends. I have a lot of friends that we kind of like challenge each other. Like me and my boy Sticks, we actually challenge each other to like lose weight, like who can lose 5 pounds first and stuff like
Oh,
that.
nice. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, so just
I
like
like
it's
that.
cool
I
to
like
challenge
that.
your friends, but that is the main thing I would like to stress to anybody I talk to, is like, or any Fortnite players listening, is like really focus on your mental physical health, and you'll see tremendous progress. Like I have in game, it helps me out so much.
Awesome, awesome. I mean,
Mm.
if there was, and let's like get into the Fortnite community now, right? What if there was one thing that you could change about the community? What would it be?
Oh man, I think you already know this. The maturity levels, dude. The Fortnite scene is just really known for a lot of immaturity, because it is a younger fan base, which
Hmm.
is understandable. But man, it has so much potential, and still does. It hasn't lost that potential, but um, it really has a bad rep because of the age range and just the maturity level of the esport itself is a lot of immature players, and like you mentioned before, not cultivating that teamwork, staying with teammates. I could name a handful of trios that have stuck together over the past like over a year, like a handful of trios, and I feel like it shouldn't be like that. I feel like it should be different. I feel like people should be staying together, improving, just like the COD teams, Valorant
Yeah,
teams.
yeah. And I don't
Um,
think that it's purely the community to blame. I do think, well,
okay,
not, well, we don't have to talk about blame, but we can just say that there is some responsibility in the publisher, right? I think
right.
that Epic could say that, as a part of this competitive season, we'd like for you guys to stick with your trio instead of
Hmm.
promoting this culture where you can just look for quick gains in performance by picking up or swapping teams. They can say,
Right.
well, hey, we want to create a community where there's long-term development. Let's say that you have to stick with this one trio for the next year, right? Imagine the
Right.
level of mental commitment a 16-year-old
Mhm.
has to take when they're like, okay, well, I need to choose this, and I'm stuck with them. And they can't just, the
Right.
moment one scrim or one cash cup goes
Right.
bad, they run, or
Yep.
they
It
message
happens
some
so
other
often.
guy and say, hey,
Yeah.
we can probably do better. And they're
Mhm.
susceptible to that, which is so sad, right? And imagine
Right.
there are so many people out there that have been left in the dust, and
Mhm.
it can create this mental health issue if they don't have like an appropriate, whether it be support system or appropriate mental toughness. And just
Right.
being real, like, this happened to you.
Yeah.
And it's just very unfortunate. And
Mhm.
I'm also glad that you're able to stay mentally strong
Right.
throughout the entire experience. So I think that's a really important thing, right? Maturity is not just on the community itself; it's also on,
Yeah.
the publisher, and maybe
Right.
even the higher level pro scene, if that can be promoted. What do you
Mhm.
think would happen if we asked, or if trios stuck together for an entire year? What would the community look like?
I think people would have to be more thought out, like you mentioned before, being more thought out about who they want to play with, and because it is such a commitment. Um, and I think that would help a lot of coaches too. I think a lot of coaches, and not even in the fact that like they can VOD with them. It's like getting your players on this, you're getting your team on the same page about things,
Hmm.
getting over small fights, doing bad in one cash cup, like that shit's small. That
Yeah, in the grand scheme
people
of
have
things.
people yeah, exactly, people have a very very tunnel vision view on things. So I think that would be a really good change, is like have, if people were to trio with each other for the year, it would change so much. It would
Yeah, right.
change so
It
much.
could it could stabilize the coaching landscape too, right? Hey, well, I'm
Yeah.
hired as a coach for this year.
Just so many benefits
Yeah,
to it that I don't
yeah.
think people realize.
Although, in the eyes of, we can flip our perspective, in the eyes of the younger kids, it might mean that they don't make as much money because they can't, LeBron around early on, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, not hating on LeBron. Hey, he brought some rings to LA, right? And I respect,
yeah.
I love LeBron, but like,
But my boy,
hey, you gotta get your bag. So there's that culture of
yeah,
balancing that, and
yeah,
and but I guess you can't compare that. You can't compare LeBron. There's so many other factors. Yeah, they have
yeah. He's the
traditional
goat. He's the
sports.
goat.
Yeah, he's the GOAT.
Yeah,
And there's, a developmental system in basketball. There is not that in
yeah, yeah.
Fortnite. So, as we get to the end, I did want to ask you some, non Fortnite related questions. What's one thing that's on your bucket list? What's one thing you want to do before you're the 200-year-old Fortnite player that passes away in front of his PC?
You mean my competitive career or just like overall in life?
Let's
Like
do overall. Let's do both. Let's do in your comp career and in
bucket list.
life.
Yeah, bucket list for me is definitely for competitive at least is winning a FNCS. I think that would be a pretty cool thing, you know. And that is like short term, because there's no lands, but ultimately winning a land would be obviously. I'm sure a lot of people would agree the ultimate, you know, thing for
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
Winning a land would be insane, dude. So that's that. And then life bucket list. Oh man, bucket list. Yeah, I want to travel. I think you put me on to traveling, bro. I want to
Good.
travel really bad, and I've always had that, you know, feeling of traveling. But after Fortnite or once I get a break, dude, I'm gonna be traveling a lot. So
Is
that's
there
something to look
one
forward
place
to.
that you want to go?
Europe, for sure,
Okay. So hey,
and Japan.
EU fans of River, make sure that you get your couch guest bedrooms ready, because
Please. I'll sleep on the floor.
Young River
Okay, like,
needs a place. It's all over Europe, you know, Netherlands maybe, you know.
yeah,
Just look out for that. Look out for that request.
please,
Um,
please.
what are the maybe like top three things that you're grateful for in your career, in your lifestyle, in your life right now?
I think I'm really grateful for my family's health. I'm grateful for my own health, and I'm genuinely so grateful for the career that I have that's kind of put in front of me. Um, it's made so many. It's a blessing, dude. Like it genuinely is. I'm forever grateful to be in this like I don't know. Like every time I talk to people about it, they're just like, "You're a gamer? Like the fuck, dude?" Like, and then
Yeah,
people are like, "Dude, you have the dream job, dude." So
yeah, yeah.
I'll always be grateful for the position I'm in. So
Got it,
those are the big
got it.
things.
And just as the last thing, any like interesting and weird, crazy stories from the World Cup or any of your past tournaments? Any like any unique things?
I'd love to tell you, bro, but I don't think I could.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay,
a lot of stuff. A lot of
okay,
stuff that I want.
okay.
Um,
Just some stupid stuff. Okay, I get it.
let's see. But if I could think of something from World Cup or something, man. So I knew a lot of Asian and Korean bros,
Hmm.
and they're all like 16, 17, you know, 18, and this was kind of just a trip for me, like, and that's like one of the reasons I want to travel is like getting to know other cultures. But these kids are like my age, 16, 17, and they're outside smoking a cigarette, and dude,
Hmm.
that like tripped me out, bro, because in Korea and Asia you can smoke cigarettes, you know,
Yeah,
that's kind of
yeah.
like culturally accepted. So I think that was kind of like interesting for me to see is
Oh
like
yeah, for sure.
it was really like a mash of all cultures, you know, coming to World Cup. So it was cool to, you know, it's interesting, but
Yeah, and
fun.
I think that's eye-opening sometimes, right? Where you're like
It is.
you've
It
been
is.
living in the same like cultural bubble for a long time, and then all
Hmm.
of a sudden you just see someone behaving in a way that you've never really seen. You know,
Yeah.
maybe doing the Asian squat, smoking, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's different. That's weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
and it's the
is. It
same
is.
like experience. You know, when I meet players from Korea, when I meet players and work with players from Europe, it's so
Mhm.
different how they approach things, and so different what's
Right.
normal and acceptable there. But that's just why it's cool too that esports is so global. You know, you get
Hmm.
to meet all these people, you get to learn about different cultures,
Exactly.
and
To
there's
pick
this
things from.
blend of, you know, beliefs and approaches. So,
Right.
um, yeah, I love that. You know, as a last thing, what we're going to be doing today is a push-up contest, and you know, we're gonna see how many that we can do until we fatigue. So, you know, let's just do this. Let's straight up see how many we
Can
can
do
do.
it, bro.
Let's here we go.
So,
Here's my push-up cam, and we'll see. All right, so we're gonna start. We're gonna keep our headset on? You want to do?
I think I can get my set on. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Let's do as many as you can. No
All
rest.
right. No rest. All
Yeah,
right.
no
I'll
rest.
count in my
Just
head. I'll count in my head.
all right. All right. Ready?
All right. Ready?
Let's go.
Ready? Let's go.
Eight, 19, 20, 1, 22, 23, 24, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30. Yeah.
Dude, there's no way you're so good.
Ah! Ah!
Oh, we just broke his arm.
Ah!
Yeah, I got like 70 or something.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Nice, nice.
How many did you get? How many did you get?
I got 62.
62. I got 40.
Oh.
All right.
Oh
You'll win this
man.
one. Feeling
Yeah,
good? Feel the pecs?
We'll redo this maybe. I
We will.
Whew.
I'll be
Okay.
training like Saitama till then.
Exactly. All right. Well, hey, any last message that you just want to let everyone know as we leave this off, leave this great interview off?
All the younger players, focus on your physical health as well as your mental health. Like I mentioned before, that shit is so important, and that is something like I wish I got into during World Cup, is like taking care of your physical health. You know, having that balance is so important. So that's kind of the main thing I want to leave you guys with. Anybody watching this is like really have a schedule in your life and take care of your physical health.